Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, Sun & Fun cancels seaplane operations for safety reasons. An airshow mid-air collision results in no injuries. And ANN is gearing up for the AEA 2015 convention. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm Ashley Hale. Due to record rainfall over the last 6 months, Sun & Fun has made a decision to cancel the Seabird Splash-In that's been held annually on Lake Agnes at Fantasy of Flight during the Sun & Fun International Fly-In and Expo being held later this month. The Lake Agnes water level is more than 2 feet above normal, which creates numerous hazards to seaplane operations in the form of hidden obstruction and very shallow and long approaches to land access. Additionally, both the dock and ramp at Fantasy of Flight are unusable. The Sun & Fun Seabirds team is working on alternative activities for all seaplane enthusiasts. A Saturday night dinner at the Sun & Fun Seabird area will be held prior to the evening air show and fireworks. During an air show in Tuscaloosa, Alabama last weekend by Team Aerodynamix, a mid-air collision between a RV-6 and an RV-8 gave everybody a scare. Normally when there's a mid-air collision, that involves one of the aircraft losing part of its prop. The outcome is much worse. But when such an incident occurred last Sunday during the air show, both airplanes managed to land safely and there were no injuries. The Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office said in a Facebook post that the planes touched during a performance, causing one of the planes to lose part of its propeller. The airshow was delayed for a brief time after the incident and then continued. Their website claims that Team Aerodynamix is the world's largest airshow team. After the break, ANN schedules its live Aero-TV coverage at the upcoming AEA 2015 convention.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
Now certified, Aspen Avionics single-band ADS-B ATX100 and ATX100G transceivers are the next-gen ADS-B solution that provides the features pilots need while keeping flyaway costs low. Check it out now at aspenavionics.com.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. If you have a story suggestion for Airborne Unlimited, send an email to news-spy@aero-news.net. The staff of the Aero-News Network is hard at work in preparation for its live event coverage of the 58th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, coming up next week in Dallas, Texas on April 8th through the 11th. ANN will be there to cover the AEA convention from top to bottom, from beginning to end. We'll provide daily reports on the Aero-News Network website and broadcast video reports on our daily Airborne Unlimited videocast. We start things off on Wednesday, April 8th at 9:30 in the morning Eastern Time with the exciting and fast-paced live TV coverage of the AEA New Product Introduction Program. On Thursday, April 9th, detailed live coverage of the most fascinating new products, programs, and people starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Time. On Friday, April 10th, we expand coverage of products, programs, and people starting at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Time. The Thursday and Friday live broadcasts are 3-hour sessions, or maybe longer, that will offer expert insight and commentary on numerous areas of importance. These include the approaching 2020 ADS-B mandate, the Next Gen GA Fund program, the best of the 2015 new product introduction, and a closer look at the top products we saw. We will also be covering the regulatory updates, the UAV situation, and much more. If you can't make it to the convention, please join us on Aero-TV. It's Friday at last, and that means it's time for ANN CEO and Editor-in-Chief Jim Campbell to check in with his weekly Barnstorming commentary. This week, Jim wonders why we're not responding more aggressively to the Santa Monica airport haters and other threats that face us in general aviation. Here's this week's Barnstorming.
Thanks, Ashley. Hi, folks. Well, got a few things to say, and I'm not quite sure how to say them, but what it comes down to is there was a wonderful old movie, a network or some such, where one of the characters apparently goes to a window, throws everything open, screams for the world all to hear, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore." Well, I won't say I'm mad as hell, but I'm getting to a point where I really don't want to take any more of this nonsense that's been dealt out toward general aviation and business aviation. And I'm speaking principally for the moment of the Santa Monica airport issue, where all kinds of ridiculous statements are being made by politicians and some of the civil people involved with the town that desperately want to close the airport, turn it into the next big shopping mall, or whatever the case may be. The fact of the matter is this: we take it. We take it, we try to smile, we try to reason, and the fact of the matter is, I think it's time for no more Mr. Nice Guy. There is a tremendous amount of power in a group that wields the economic, social, and industrial impact that aviation does. And I think it's time to throw our weight around a little bit. Very simply put, I think if Santa Monica really wants to lose an airport, I think we should make sure they know it's going to cost them. More than the airport, it's going to cost them our business. It's going to cost them all the things that we would have otherwise have done with Santa Monica, and to make Santa Monica a pariah where general aviation and business aviation is concerned. Some years ago, and it was very much a personal choice, but I had so much fun sending email to the then mayor of Chicago. After they had done this horrible thing, bulldozing an airport, I went out of my way to send notices to the city of Chicago, letting them know every time I didn't buy gas in Chicago, every time I didn't fly into an airport in Chicago, every time I bypassed anything I could possibly do to bring any money to Chicago, I wouldn't do it. A number of other people did the same. I know that because I've seen the emails and some of the communications. Santa Monica needs to be brought up on notice that being an enemy of general aviation is not smart. It's not good for them. It's not good for the town. General aviation means a lot of business, but most important, it's just stupid. A mile of runway takes you anywhere you need to go. And the fact of the matter is that Santa Monica only wants to go back to the Stone Age. It's ridiculous. But for this and so many other issues that where GA is unwelcome, we need to start coalescing, bringing forth this tremendous economic and industrial and social power we have in our numbers and our jobs and our economics, and let them know you want to mess with us, it's going to cost you. There are people who are probably a whole lot smarter about doing this than I am. I'd love to hear from you. But the plain fact of the matter, one of my favorite phrases, but in this case it really applies, the plain fact of the matter is Santa Monica has picked a fight. We think it's time that they should know that they really are in one. For the Aero-News Network, Airborne, and Aero-TV, I'm Jim Campbell. I'm ready to create a little bit of a ruckus here. How about you?
After these messages, veterans are barred from enrollment in Arizona Helicopter School.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, Navcom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we've summarized some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. The VA has shut down new enrollments by veterans in a helicopter training program at a college in Prescott, Arizona. It's reported that the program did not meet the threshold of 15% of its enrollees being non-veterans. Facebook executives have unveiled a plan that could eventually bring wireless internet service to up to 4 billion people around the world. They're flight testing a solar-powered UAV to relay data with a wingspan longer than a Boeing 737. The former JetBlue pilot who in 2012 exhibited erratic behavior, causing the flight to be diverted, has sued the airline. The pilot claimed his behavior was caused by medical problems, and the airline should have found him unfit to fly that day. Boeing and All Nippon Airways have finalized an order for 3 787-10 Dreamliners, valued at approximately $900 million. ANA becomes Boeing's newest 787-10 customer and the first airline in Asia to operate the entire family of 787 Dreamliners. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's move on to the rest of the news. The FAA has approved the NBAA's request to extend its small aircraft exemption for a 12-month period, expiring on March 31st, 2016. The exemption, which is available only to NBAA members, allows operators of piston-powered airplanes, small airplanes which are defined as those with a gross weight of 12,500 pounds or less, and rotorcraft to utilize alternative maintenance programs. It also allows limited cost reimbursement for certain flights, as is permitted under Part 91, Subpart F of the Federal Aviation Regulations. The FAA is also reviewing NBAA's request to remove a previously imposed limitation that barred use of the exemption for operations conducted outside the U.S. Well, that's our program for Friday, April 3rd. Remember to get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at Aero-News.net. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily, Monday through Friday. Please join us in a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news. I'm Ashley Hale. Thanks for watching.